Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jazzman back with a game between Blue playing Full Faction Shattered Peaks, and we've got Balduvian playing a split between Forglar and Forsaken Waste. And I was nervous about going into this game because it's on the most boring map in the game, probably, 2-font Forsaken Waste. But Balduvian actually seems to be going on the super aggressive rush here with the Lich King, ignoring his side font completely and going after Blue's something or other. I don't know where this Lich King is going. It looks like he wanted to rush, but it's like, why deploy the Lich King here when the font is over here? Are you trying to rush the shrine? Looks like he's already got a hit on it for 9. I don't know, man. This seems like way too much aggression this early in the game. But Blue's going to grab his font, as he should. And it looks like he's playing an electric deck. He's got Paralyzing Golem, or Overcharged Golem, whatever you want to call it. Sabotage, so Balduvian's next champion is going to be vulnerable to electric. He's actually dealing some pretty good damage here to this Lich King with the Thunderhead Totem. I don't know if that totem was worth, like, it didn't really do anything to delay the Lich King. All it did was some damage, and that's it. But Lich King, what the hell are you doing, Balduvian? What is this? What is this? Okay, so he's going to do 9 more damage to the shrine, and then Lichling. Okay, so Lichling with initiative going to take the font, finally. But this is a really weird opening. Hynid Storm Reader can't really do much on his own. He can get an electric attack proc off, I guess. But the thing is, like, even if he manages to kill this Lich King, it's got immortality, so I mean, wasting a Thunderhead Totem, I don't know, it just doesn't seem, that totem just didn't really, it doesn't appeal to me as as someone who likes to make every Nora count. So, I mean, it is 92 Nora, to be fair. The Lich King won't probably be not getting redeployed anytime soon. But Genesis Lich coming in. So FS Liches, that is very interesting. I'm curious as to what the FS side provides for Liches. Liches have gotten have actually been seeing a spattering of play in a lot of different split factions. Underdepths Liches has been a thing in the past. ST Liches, I think Alakami has tried to make that work. But the ionization here coming down to help finish off that Lich King. And does give Blue the globe, so nice fat globe going to him, sort of counteract some of the Nora loss on the totem and the ionization here to help get that kill. I don't know, like, I feel like Lich King's range is intimidating, right? But Balduvian really, like, he was playing Lich King as though he didn't have 8 range. Like, he was running all the way up here when he could have just as well, like, attacked from, like, back here or something, you know? The shrine. But going after the shrine, like, with a Lich King like that, just very suspicious. So Blue going to deploy the Spark Crone now, and I like electric decks. Honestly, I think ISSP Electric has potential to be really strong. FFSP probably still the best way to go, but I mean there's so many nifty things that electric decks can do. Stuff like the Overload, what's it called, the Overload Scepter from Cyclonic Fesh, and who was actually buffed in the Shattered Peaks patch. Then you've got stuff like Spark Curse that you can play with. And then Storm Reader, again, really strong with the Storm Reader ability. And then, you can do some Paralyze shenanigans, but, there's definitely multiple ways that you can build it. It's sort of like bleed decks. I know bleed decks are kind of binary in their play pattern, but their champions are just really interesting. They have a lot of neat abilities that are fun to use. So Balduvian not going to let up the pressure here. He can actually contest with the Relic with that Genesis Lich if he wants. And I'm wondering here, I know that Liches are sort of based around their pots, right? Their phylacteries. But I'm thinking now there's not actually a Forsaken Waste relic that is just the phylactery. I'm wondering how much that relic would cost, theoretically, if it were in the game. I mean, there's Cull the Meek, which does 8 damage and spawns a pot for like 45 Nora. So I'm thinking, like, if you were to have like an actual phylactery just relic to deploy, would probably be like 35-ish Nora, right? For a respawn. Because there's also Reanimate, which is 65 Nora, and can reanimate anything, but pots are only for Liches. I don't know, an interesting thing to think about. Maybe it'll be added to the game in the future. But Boghopper Toad here, so we're finally seeing the FS side of this deck, which Balduvian has for some reason chosen to deploy one space behind the maximum deployment range. I guess he's thinking, well, if overcharged Golem contests, he'll have to walk through 2 spaces of Poison Cloud rather than 1. But I don't really see that Golem going in like on its own. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would lose that 1v1 to the Toad, just because Swamp Exploit and Aura is a really strong combo. I feel like blue should probably swing the Golem over here to try and deal with this assault by Balduvian on this font. I think I was recording a game of blue before. Oh wow, he's actually going in. All right, so Leroy Jenkins into that font with a Golem. But yeah, I was recording a game earlier with of blue on this same map actually, and I didn't end up finishing it just because it was sort of a stomp. But I'm pretty sure it was actually Balduvian. It was the same guy, wasn't it? And blue was playing a fire deck, and he just got his font rushed early on, and that game didn't go too well for him. But now the tables have turned, and he's the one doing the font rushing. So that Crystal Slag coming down, and Crystal Slag is an interesting choice. It's probably Shattered Peaks' only AoE cleanse. Trying to think. Okay, yeah, it's definitely Shattered Peaks' only AoE cleanse. But a Cavern Spawn you can run with Relieve, I suppose, if you really want to. But the Genesis Lich down here, not looking too healthy. He's got to get some pots in play like ASAP. Otherwise, he's just gonna die like his king that had previously fallen. But in terms of this topside fight, like Toad should have no problems winning this 1v1. I feel like he would just want to wait. Like he would want to sit there and do some aura damage and have the Golem have to walk through the Poison Cloud, so that he can get poisoned and then have Swamp Exploit attacks on his next turn. I mean, there's really no rush. Like you've got pressure over here. You're sort of delaying Blue's advance by keeping your champions like this aggressive over here. But I mean, eventually this 24 Nora disparity is going to add up, right? The thing about rushing on this map is that like the deployment zones are so close to the font. I think I've talked about this before in another video, but positionally, you don't really gain anything from contesting the font. It's just in terms of Nora, you put your opponent at a disadvantage. It's not like there's a mid font, right, where you can deploy closer to the action. Whereas here, like the shrines, I mean, the shrines are so close to the font that reinforcements arrive like the very next turn, right? So if you do want to rush, you have to make sure you either like go like really hard all in and just win early. Otherwise, you're just going to get out deployed anyway. So a couple spells going down. There was a buffer and a Nora Weave. So anytime blue attacks, Balduvian will generate Nora. That Lich, I don't know. Was it worth to bubble the Lich? Like, I don't think it was worth to bubble the Genesis Lich rather than just, I guess, back off with the Lich. I don't know. And then deploy another champion, right? Like, that was like 70... I'm trying to think of the cost here. It was almost 80 Nora that he played on spells just to keep, or try and keep his champions alive. But it doesn't look like blue cares much about that. He's going to deploy another Golem. He's going to deploy another Golem. And, yeah, this Golem does move through the Poison Cloud. So, Boghopper Toad can get a double hit if he wants. But yeah, so basically, like, blue's in a pretty good spot, like, right now. He fended off the Lich King rush, and he's contesting Balduvian's font. Like, Balduvian has made some really weird plays. I get it, though. Like, I get it. Like, you'd want to be aggressive on this map, because otherwise you're just stuck in a snooze fest of a match for, like, 40 minutes, and it's no fun. But it seems like when players play this map, there's really only two modes. It's like super hyper aggressive, get in the font, like always, you know, be in your opponent's face, or it's just like, you know, sit back with, you know, Dwarven Mortar Crew, Jackeye Elder, and just casually poke down from a billion spaces away. There's really no in between here, and I'm glad that this map is eventually getting removed from the rotation, hopefully to be replaced with something more interesting. Like, for example, just throwing it out there, Axilium 5 fonts, maybe. Rorschach, maybe. So we've got some equips. What was that equip? A static bracelet. I never see this in play. What does this even do? Catalyst electricity, static aura, storm acolyte. Seems all right. I think it's like, what, 30 Nora? 25 Nora, maybe? So the golems, this golem's going to heal a bit whenever there's electric damage done. And a couple Grave Warriors. What was that from? Was that a Wake the Dead? Damn, Balduvian with the Wake the Dead. All right. So so the Grave Warriors are spawning, but they have loyalty, and you're running a split, so they have 6 HP and they're useless. Why would you run Wake the Dead? So, Wake the Dead, when you gather a globe, it spawns Grave Warriors. I used to love running this spell. Like, back when these champions were real, they all get popped to 1 aura. Hilarious. So, back when they were real, though, I used to love running that alongside Nora Seep, because your opponent would want to collect the globes in their fonts, and they would just run into a globe and have, like, 6 Grave Warriors spawn, and they would all be real, and they would all contest, right? But alas, that is not possible any longer. So a Poison Cloud here, and then a Reverberating Bracelet gets the kill on that Storm Raider. Very nice. So Storm Raider down, that'll be a big relief, I'm sure, to Balduvian. It did cost a lot of Nora, though, in spells, and Balduvian's really going to be behind on Nora, I would think. Like, even after, like, a second Nora Weave, really? Like, Blue hasn't made like a single attack this whole time. Like, he's just been killing your shit with AoE damage, like auras and shit. I don't know. That seems very suspicious play here by Balduvian. So he's gonna try to keep this. Blue is gonna try to keep this golem alive with the bracelet. He actually didn't attack to keep Balduvian down on Nora through Nora Weave. So he also doesn't make the mistake of moving through the Poison Cloud, trying to get away from attacks. So, okay, well, I spoke too soon. He moved away through the Poison Cloud. See, the thing here is, like, you can't really get away from the Toad in this font. Like, he's always going to be able to get to you with Leap and such. Except he's distracted. Was that a Whispers of the... Yeah, that was a Whispers of the Mind that went down up there. So Toad missed his last turns of attacks to Whispers of the Mind. And then he is distracted, so he can't leap. So, but again, like, you can't really get away. Like, he's 7 speed with leap 3. There's no way you can get away from his hits. So you might as well just sit there and not take extra damage from the Poison Cloud, right? Just sort of try and wait out the Nora Weave, because by moving through the Poison Cloud, you're just dealing extra damage to yourself with the Swamp Exploit, right? This does, however, allow his golem to be just ever so slightly closer to these incoming reinforcements, Spark Crone and Lightning Elemental. And, I'm always torn when I'm trying to run an electric deck on the viability of Sabotage versus other upgrades like Spark Charge. Like, you can run Spark Charge, for example, on the golems and increase all your electric damage. I'm pretty sure Spark Charge is the superior upgrade. Just because, I mean, Sabotage only affects 1 champion, plus it's cleansable, so, like, would you really want your upgrade to go to waste like that? When you could just run Spark Charge and get bonus electric damage to everybody? Whereas, like, to all champions, basically. There's a Soul Collector from Balduvian. I'm guessing that's all he had the Nora for, because I really would not want to deploy Soul Collector into Blue's advancing force like this. I'd probably want anything better than Soul Collector, especially since there's no Nora globes to collect. So his signature ability will come to nothing. He might actually just be dead here, wouldn't he? Okay, yeah, he's totally dead. That Vicious Harpoon going to pull it in, and Blue takes the game. So well played, and we'll see everyone in the next one.